Takezo The Unrivalled was the greatest duelist under heaven. His two swords claimed so many victories. It was said that Hachiman, the god of battle, blessed his left and right hand. Before every duel, Takezo wrote the name of his opponent on a strip of paper and hung it from a tree. One Takezo's tree was so heavy with names that there was no room for another. He disappeared. Some say he left for Ezo, searching for a worthy opponent. Only when Takezo the Unrivaled loses his title will he pass on the secret of his unstoppable twin sword strike. He commanded his clan to build him a castle that would surpass the majestic peaks of Mount Yotei, and forged an armor to rival the beauty of its snowy summit. But the mountain would not suffer the Lord's pride, and sent the wind to take down his castle, gale after gale. The samurai lord defied the wind. Decorating his castle with wind chimes, he transformed the punishing storm into a haunting melody. One night, a fire broke out. Fanned by the winds, the roaring flames devoured Castle Ishikari. But the vain samurai lord survived, trapped within his precious armor. An armor now cursed to bestow unnatural life, so that its lord may live out eternity with a wounded pride. Only when his life is taken and the armor removed will the curse be lifted. During the Tensho-Iga War, a general clad in spider lily armor rose to prominence. 1,000 adversaries fell to his blade. Spider lilies sprouted wherever he spilled blood, earning him the moniker, the Spider Lily General. After decades of conflict, the general had a daughter. His love for her eclipsed his desire for war. He retired to Ezo and spent his days embracing fatherhood. But eventually, the allure of battle returned. The general donned his spider lily armor and trained vigorously. He even insisted on teaching his daughter to use a blade. One day, he accidentally cut her while sparring. The wound was small, but became inflamed. She lingered for days before passing. Consumed by guilt, the general drove out his family and isolated himself. A fog settled over the forest. Now people whisper of the Spider Lily General, twisted by grief into a fearsome yokai that haunts his domain. Those foolish enough to seek out his fabled armor are never seen again.
One day, the great Okikurumi Kamui, teacher of the Ainu, and he who has had many names, caught sight of a group of arguing Ainu. To prevent a battle, Okikurumi proposed to settle things with a contest of the bow. He crafted a single arrow out of mugwort and shot it past the river with magnificent force. It pierced through the mountain, leaving a giant hole in its wake. Seeing this, the Ainu conceded and returned to their homes unscathed. What about the arrow? They say it landed on the other side of the mountain, where a vast field of mugwort sprung. But the caves surrounding it fester with bad kamui, corrupt spirits thirsting for blood. None who have gone in search of Okikurumi's arrow have ever returned.
a woman married a cruel man and birthed a daughter. Every year, the mother wove a special kimono to hide her child from the father's gaze, for he was prone to drink and violence. On the daughter's 14th birthday, the mother crafted a kimono so incredible that whoever wore it would be obscured from hostile eyes. That same day, the father overdrank, and the mother sent her daughter into the forest to hide. When the daughter returned, she found her mother dead, the imprint of her father's hands still around the mother's neck. Hidden by her kimono, the daughter took her mother's shears and slit the father's throat. Word of his death reached his clan, and they sent their best warriors to avenge him. None returned. Infuriated, the clan sent more men. Weeks turned to months, then years, until the daughter's kimono was stained crimson with blood and the father's clan was vanquished. With her enemies gone, the daughter spent her final days living alone, crafting snow sculptures of her beloved mother, who she missed so dearly. Long ago, the Mongol horde set its eyes upon a small Japanese island. Although greatly outnumbered, a band of brave samurai rode out to face their invaders. The samurai were annihilated, but one fallen warrior rose from the ashes and single-handedly pushed back the Mongols, armed with his katana, the Storm Blade. He cast aside the way of the samurai and adopted what we now call the way of the shinobi. With the Storm Blade in hand and the howling winds at his back, the warrior defeated the Mongols and freed his home. But he also broke the very code that forged him, making him a wanted man by his own people. The samurai who was no longer a samurai had no choice but to flee his home, never to be seen again. No one knows where he went. However, some say he spent his final days here in Ezo.